Yay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm just waiting for technology to catch up. Make sure we are going live. Yeah, I see. Okay, I think we're good. Right on. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's almost 4 o'clock, so go ahead, grab your favorite oil, a glass of water, or your tea, coffee, juice, smoothie, whatever it may be. Let's get it. Yes. There we go. Still adjusting here so you can see my face. There we go. Okay. I'm just waiting for 4 o'clock to roll around. I've got my mineral water, carbonated water with lime and lemon to give it that lemon lime Sprite flavor without all the sugar. So good and so refreshing. Just one drop each. Okay, it's 4 o'clock, so let's get this party started. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen because we have a lot to share with you today when it comes to cooking with essential oils. Yay! I'm super excited about this. Yeah, hello everyone. So as you may know, there are so many diverse uses for essential oils, like promoting relaxation, repelling insects, hair and nails, just to name a few. In addition to those uses, cooking with essential oils is one of the best ways to experience the benefits that essential oils have to offer. Today, we're going to talk about how to safely cook with your essential oils to enhance your food and drinks with unique flavors. Whether you're an essential oil beginner or you don't consider yourself much a professional chef, you'll soon find with essential oils is extremely easy and definitely convenient. So just a little bit about myself real quickly. My name is Nicole Mock. I live in San Marcos, California, which is 30 minutes north of San Diego. So we're still part of San Diego County. I'm a cafeteria lady at my son's middle school. He's 13. His name is Ian. And I also have a daughter, Erica, and she is 9. My husband, Aaron, is a physical therapist assistant for about 5 or 6 years now. And we've been married almost 17 years. It'll be 17 years this April. And yeah, I just love that I get to feed the children in my community during the day and then help people who have open minds that have tried everything and want to try something else. They can turn to the holistic approach, and I help guide those people and just provide them the information so they can make an informed decision if this is a right choice for them. That's it. I do have my master's in communication. As far as career, I had a 20-year corporate career where I worked in television for 12 years and then sales for 13 years. I worked for a food broker. I worked at ESPN, Qualcomm, and then a food broker. And our only client was Costco. So I got to know deli, frozen foods very well, and some grocery. And now I serve kids food and oil people up. That is my 2 favorite things to do in this life. Okay, I was first introduced to essential oils back in 2017, 5 years ago. It was lavender. My aunt gave me a couple of samples of doTERRA, and it was a lavender that did it, that made me go, oh, there's something to this. So what happened was I have a very hyperactive son. If you've ever met him, you know. And one night my husband and I struggled to get him to go to bed. I mean, that was like every night, but this night in particular, he really was amped up, where he was jumping up and down on the bed and we couldn't get him to stop, and he was getting his little sister worked up. So I was like, what can I use? I didn't want to go through the process of warming up milk because then I have to do dishes later. And, you know, I didn't want to give him a Benadryl because he was like 6 or 7 at the time, and that's no bueno. So I remember my aunt said lavender had calming effects. So I asked Ian, I'm like, do you want some lavender? Can I put some on you? And he said, sure. So I put some on him, and within a minute, it was just a small amount on his chest. And within a minute, less than a minute, he got underneath the covers. He stopped jumping on the bed, put him in and passed out like that. The second his head hit the pillow, and I thought, all right, I got time for myself, honey. Let's go watch some Netflix and binge watch something. I didn't think anything of it until the next night when both kids are already in bed. And he popped his little head up and asked me for more lavender. And I was just like, okay, there's something to this. So I really didn't care about the oils at the time when I signed up. I was trying to align myself with a company that had sustainable ethical practices that were taking care of the farmers on the other side of the bottle, as well as providing us with really awesome benefits and perks, and not just taking our money and run, because I was kind of jaded by that. So that all aligned, and I was like, sure, sign me up. And I can make extra income, I can make some money off of this too. Yeah, sign me up for that as well, because I was already making money on my photography on the side. So I thought, why not add a couple extra $100? So here I am. All right. You might be wondering, what are the benefits of cooking with essential oils? Now, I'll be reading off of a script because this class is super brand new to me, so I don't have all this information crammed in my head, but I will share a couple stories with you along the way. So there are many reasons why you might want to cook with essential oils: to add flavor, for internal use benefits, it's safe, natural ingredients, and convenience. So I'm going to dive in a little deeper on each one. So when coming to adding flavor, the potent nature of essential oils makes them perfect for adding flavor to your favorite foods and beverages. Unlike other ingredients, only a tiny amount of essential oil is needed to add powerful flavor to any dish. With citrus, herb, mint, floral, and spice oils, there are endless options for adding a unique twist and flavor to your food. Now, for internal use benefits, internal usage is one of the most popular ways to use essential oils. By adding oils to your food and drinks, you're not only providing more flavor, you can also simultaneously enjoy the internal benefits of any particular oil. Now, depending on which oil you use, you can reap internal benefits like supporting the body system, antioxidant support, digestive support, internal cleansing, and so much more. Using essential oils when cooking provides a unique way to experience the benefit of oils. When it comes to safe and natural ingredients, essential oils can be easily used as a substitute for dry herbs, citrus zest, and seasonings for the cooking process. The great thing about using an essential oil is, as a flavoring agent, is that you can rest knowing you're putting safe, natural ingredients into your food. Because essential oil, and you know where they come from, because essential oils come from natural sources, plant seeds, barks, they provide a safe way to add potent and unique flavors to any dish. It's important to note that not all essential oils are created equal. I'm going to say that again. Not all essential oils are created equal. doTERRA essential oils are carefully harvested. They're sourced globally because they find that when the plant is sourced where it originates from, we have a more potent oil. They go through rigorous testing. 54 times they're tested. 11 of those are done by third-party labs to make sure there's no contaminants, no adulteration, no pesticides, 100% pure oil. And not all essential oil companies are going to use the same high standards for processing their essential oils. So their oils may not be as pure. So if you're buying from the grocery store, Amazon, or retail chain stores, read the labels. It's super important to read the labels because most of them, at least in my experience, say do not take internally. And that's for several reasons, probably because they didn't test to make sure that they're safe for taking internally, or there's added stuff in it. Okay. Let's see. Convenience. Let's talk about that. So have you ever been halfway through cooking and realize you're out of something, or there's an herb you want to use, but it's not in season, or you go worst off, you go to the grocery store to pick up your fresh herbs and they're out of either thyme, oregano, or basil, or one of those sage, and you're like, what am I going to do? Well, you can turn to essential oils. It's super convenient. This is where essential oils come in handy when you're running low on ingredients, worried about fresh ingredients going bad in the fridge, or you can't get your hands on anything. Essential oils can provide a solution without sacrificing the flavor. As mentioned, it does not take much for essential oils to add potent flavors to your dish, which may make essential oils very cost effective in the long run. Yeah, because you're not using as much. Essential oils will typically last longer than dry ingredients because you use less. They last longer than fresh ingredients. So yeah, for example, my favorite is oregano right here. I bought my oregano. It was the big bottle, 250 drops. And I every week was making my own pasta sauce using oregano. And I'll share that recipe in a minute later on in the show or in the class. I would put a drop just one drop. And then I also made a household cleaner out of it, and it lasted 3 freaking years. That one bottle lasted 3 years. That's how long they last. So you're not having to go out and spend buku bucks on flavoring your food. Now that we talked about some of the benefits of using essential oils in cooking, some of you might be wondering, is putting essential oils in my food really safe? If you're new to essential oils, the idea of consuming them internally or putting in your food might seem a little strange. However, internal usage is in fact safe and effective. So historical use, these have been around for centuries. Back when baby Jesus was born, he had frankincense and myrrh. So if it's good enough for baby Jesus, it's good enough for you. Even the Egyptians used it. So this stuff goes way, 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 way back. Essential oils are also part of our diet as well. Essential oils are taken from plants, seeds, fruits, roots, and other natural sources. And many of these are likely to be part of your diet in some form or another already. Because essential oils already appear in small amounts throughout our diets, our bodies are already equipped to process them. Keep in mind, our bodies can only handle essential oils in proper amounts. We talked about how much essential oil to use in your cooking later in this presentation to help you stay in the safe range of use. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so again, essential oils, they're high quality, well-tested essential oils are safe to consume, because again, not all oils are created equal. Do read labels. But doTERRA's essential oils are safe to use when cooking because they have been carefully monitored every step of the production process and thoroughly tested for any possible contaminants and harmful substances that I mentioned earlier, 54 times, 11 of those by third-party labs, because not all essential oil companies use this kind of quality assurance in their system. So remember why, use very high quality oils. If you go to source to you, no matter if you buy a kit or these oils individually once you replace, if you look on the bottom of, let me stop the share real quick so you guys can give me a second here. So I can stop the share. Okay, here. So I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try. No, maybe not. There it is. You kind of see it. There's a lot code. It's right there, you guys. There's a lot code on every bottle. So if you go to source2you.com, that's source to you, TOYOU.com, it's going to take you to their beautiful website, and you can look at all the different oils and find out, you get to know the farmer that is harvesting these oils for us, where they're located, and all kind of fun facts. But you also get to see the reports. How transparent is that? You get to see the report of each of your oils that you're going to ingest. So please take a look at that. When you get your bottles, grab your bottle and take a look. Okay. All right, what else can I share with you? We talked about the yes. Okay. So yeah, not all essential oils should be taken, let me play this again, should be taken internally. There are some that should not, that are doTERRA's. And here's a list. So screenshot, or you can write this down, just have it somewhere, either on your refrigerator or on your computer, somewhere where you see all the time, so, or by your oil, so you know which ones be taken internally. Arbor falls in that line. What else? There's another one that is, let me see if I can put, hold on, you guys. Oh yeah. Oh, I thought there was another one. Anyway, arborvitae, cedarwood, cypress, Douglas fir, eucalyptus, spikenard, white fir, and wintergreen. Those we should not be taken internally. In fact, if you already have a deep blue, take that internally because it has wintergreen in it. Just fun fact, okay? All right, things to remember. Adding essential oils to your recipe is the perfect way to add flavor to a dish or put a unique twist on an old favorite. How you use essential oils in your cooking will depend on your own personal preferences, what kind of food you're making, and which essential oil you are using. However, it is extremely easy to use essential oils to transform any dessert, entree, meat, beverage into something amazing. Let's talk about a few best practices for cooking with essential oils, like how to use essential oils when cooking with heat. what type of cookware to use, and how to determine how much essential oil to add to your recipe. Because I'm sure you guys are all like foaming at the mouth for those tips right there. So hang in there, guys. Because of their chemical makeup, you guys, essential oils will evaporate when exposed to heat. Many worry that adding essential oils to a recipe will be exposed to heat will lessen the flavor or the efficiency of the oil. The less heat an essential oil is exposed to, the more flavor it'll retain. So it's best to add the oil at the end of cooking if possible, okay? Now with many recipes, it's impossible to add the essential oil at the end, especially the baking kind. If you need to add an essential oil before you steam, simmer, boil, or bake the food, just add in larger amount. While some of the oils flavor steamed or baked out, adding a larger amount will ensure that a portion of the flavor remains. If you're adding the oil at the end of the cooking process, much smaller amount is needed. So what I do with my oregano when I cook with that, I basically use it for aromatics, you guys, not really for flavor, more for the aromatics in the beginning of the cooking process with when I'm cooking my pasta sauce. So what I do is it calls for some butter. I can't remember how much at the top of my head, but I put in maybe a half a stick of butter and I put 1 drop of oregano on top of that, and I let that melt down into the saucepan. And then right after that, I add in my garlic because I am trying to get the aromatics of the garlic, oregano, and it just kind of absorbs all that in. So some of that is still there. So that's how I cook my pasta sauce with oregano. And then at the end, if I wanted to add a little bit more, then I'd use the toothpick method, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So hang in there. Cookware, let's talk about that. Because essential oils are so potent and powerful, it's best to avoid plastic cookware when cooking with oils. Because what happens over time, the oil is going to break down the plastic, and then you're going to end up ingesting the plastic. We don't want you ingesting plastic. We're trying to remove toxins from your body, not add them in. So yeah, it's best to use glass, ceramic, or stainless steel to protect your cookware from damage. Now, perhaps the trickiest part of cooking, we can all agree, with essential oils is how much to add to your recipe. While there are many options out there about measurements, the amount of oil you use depends on what kind of food you're making, which oil you're using, and how many servings you plan to make, and other things like your own taste preferences. Because there are so many variables, cooking an essential oil takes a lot of experimentation and trial and error. Very true. You just have to try it and see what happens. But always start small first. That's the best tip I can give you, is to start small and then taste, and then add, taste, and so on. Just like you would do with adding salt and pepper at the end. It's the same concept. You're putting it at the end, right? The amount of oil you put in your food will vary from recipe to recipe, especially when you consider your own flavor preferences. To help you get a general idea how to determine the amount of oil you should add to your recipe, I'd like to go over a few guidelines that will help you get used to cooking with your essential oils. The toothpick method. So like we talked about earlier, these essential oils are really strong and potent, so it only takes a small, tiny amount to add flavor to your food or beverage. In some cases, adding a single drop would be overpowering and could totally ruin the dish. I've done that before with cilantro and making guacamole. I put a full drop in, totally ruined it. Because of the potency and power of essential oils, sometimes it's best to add flavor to your recipe by way of toothpick method. This method consists of dipping the tip of a clean toothpick into the oil bottle and adding flavor by swirling the pick around with the other ingredients. The toothpick method allows you to add the smallest amount of oil possible, helping you to avoid adding too much and completely ruining it. So once you use the toothpick to mix the oil in with the other ingredients, you can taste test to see if you should add more. This makes it so you can slowly add flavor without overpowering the recipe with too much oil. So let me show you real quickly. I'm going to stop the share again. Okay, so this is how you do it. So I've got a little wild orange here to demonstrate, as well as a toothpick. Okay, so yeah, you just take the toothpick and I put it right in there, and you could just do like that. But I also like to turn it upside down and really make sure it gets it in there. And voila, there is some oil. I know you can't see it, but there is oil at the end of this. And then what I could do I could just swirl it, whirl it, whirl it, and then bah. Citrus goodness all over my lap. Okay. All right. I have a drinking problem. All right. So that's the toothpick method, you guys. And that's how you do it with your food recipes and your beverage recipes or your smoothie recipes. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the screen because we're talking about measurements, people. All right. So that's how you do the toothpick method. Now, here are some potent essential oils. It's important and potent to note that although some oils are approved for internal consumption, they're still extremely potent and should be used with caution. Always use the toothpick method when cooking with basil, cassia, cinnamon, clove, cumin, oregano, thyme, black pepper. I would even say cilantro. And if you're going to use any oil for a beverage, make sure you have at least 4 ounces of fluid so that the oil is properly diluted. And they'll say that on the side of the bottles when you read the directions. It always tells you if it has a supplement fact that you want 4 ounces of fluid per drop. It's on the side of the bottle. So if you forget, check your bottle. Okay. So how much? How do I know how much to add? Great question. I have an answer. I have a solution. Okay. Although there are a lot of variables that could go into determining how much oil to add to your recipe, as you practice cooking, there we go. As we practice cooking with essential oils and experiment a little bit, you'll soon be able to tell how much of a particular oil to add based on what you're making and your personal taste buds. I highly suggest toothpick method first, then taste testing until you get the right amount of flavor you want. Then when you get very comfortable and you know what you're doing, then you don't have to use the toothpick method as much, which makes it so much easier. And then for many recipes, adding an entire drop of oil or several drops of oil is completely fine. Just remember, once you've added the essential oil to your food and drink, you cannot take it out or take it back. So always be careful when adding to your food or drink. Toothpick method until you feel comfortable. Sound good? All right. Okay. When you're first getting started with cooking with essential oils, it can be overwhelming to determine which oils to add to your recipes because there's so many options, you guys, and an endless amount of flavor combinations. So let's go over a few different categories of essential oils and how to incorporate them in your cooking. All right, citruses. Those are your lime, your lemon, your grapefruit, all those yummy citruses. Add them to your beverages. That could be your smoothies, your slushies, baked good like brownies, muffins, banana nut bread. Oh, what if you do a lemon bread, yogurt, dips, like guacamole. I use cilantro, black pepper, and I use the toothpick method. Came out so good. I did that last night. Salsa even. And then when your recipe calls for a lemon or orange zest, I've made a lemon tart that called for a lemon zest, and I just used my lemon essential oil. In fact, it was so good that a buyer at Costco gave me a huge compliment for how yummy it is. And he was very hard to win over when it came over to food, but always came through. He liked my cooking. All right, spices. Let's go over that. Vegetables. We can use the spices for vegetables. Cardamom comes to mind as a yummy after you cook your vegetables, you roast them. Take a wooden spoon, 1 drop of cardamom, and stir it all in together. Super yum. Meat marinades. If you have a meat marinade, start thinking about switching out the dry ingredients with the oil, and sweet and savory dishes as well. That could be, your meat and vegetables. Okay, herbs, Italian dishes. Yeah, we're talking about basil, cilantro, marjoram, oregano, rosemary, or thyme. Those can be used for meat marinades, soups, breads, potato salad, pasta salad, or a substitute for dry herbs. Florals, we're talking about lavender, geranium is another good one. Those can go in dessert. I love geranium in tea. In fact, I literally stopped putting sugar in my tea and coffee and turned to essential oils, and I don't miss it. I don't know. It's just, it tastes better for some reason. It just works. It just works. That's one way to reduce your sugar intake, you guys, if you're looking to do that. Baked goods, peppermint brownies, killer, always a huge hit. And you can use to soften your citrus flavors as well. Mints, spearmint, peppermint, great in beverages, hot cocoa. I'm trying to think what else. Tea, your desserts. I already talked about the brownies. Salads. Spearmints in a salad is pretty yum. And then certain meats like lamb. I said it, lamb. All right. Now that you have a better idea what kind of oils to go best with certain foods and drinks, I'd like to give you a few recipes that can help you get started using your essential oils while you cook. So let's just get right to it. Beverages. Here's a yummy ginger pear green smoothie. I've made this, but with apple, not with pear. So if you don't have a pear, it's not in season, grab your green apple. Super yum. Go ahead and take a screenshot. I'll give you, if you're not on your phone or you're on something else, go ahead. I'll give you a minute to jot down the recipe as quickly as you can. So just fresh spinach, pears, the non-fat Greek yogurt, almond butter, almond milk, raw honey, vanilla extract. If you want to, you can use the Madagascar vanilla instead. I've used Madagascar vanilla for my banana nut bread. Super yum, you guys. And then 1 drop of ginger essential oil. If you don't feel comfortable with a drop of ginger, I find it's very potent for me, and that's my personal preference. I do a toothpick method when I do my individual cup. Now if I'm doing a big batch, then I'll do a drop, because that's going to be enough to, it's enough to kind of dilute that flavor a little bit, so it's not overpowering. All right, so that's the green smoothie recipe for you. Marinades. Here's just a list of suggested oils when making your marinades. We're looking at basil, black pepper, cardamom. I love cardamom in my coffee in the morning and I do toothpick method with that, and turmeric. Delicious. The best part of waking up is turmeric in your cup. All right, cilantro, cumin, fennel, ginger, lemon, lime, marjoram, oregano, rosemary, thyme, and wild orange. All right, so just again, think about replacing those dry herbs with the essential oil when making your marinades, okay? Baked goods. All right. It's extremely easy to add essential oils. No, that's where I'm at. Okay, I lost where am I at? Where am I at? Okay. Okay, here we go. Baked goods. All right. Favorite cake, cookie, brownie, scone, bread, or cupcake recipe. Remember, you can add essential oils to a batter or dough. Much of the flavor will be cooked out when the mixture is exposed to heat. It's okay to add a little extra when using essential oils for baked goods to ensure that some of the flavor remains after the baking process. So here's a quick, easy, well, I wouldn't say quick, but it's a simple recipe, I guess, healthy and delicious recipe. Cinnamon apple cake. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that, or you can jot it down, and you can always catch the replay, you guys. You can always, after this is over, refresh your phone and then go back, and you can watch the video and just kind of fast forward to this part, and then you can pause it, jot down the recipe and the instructions on how to bake it. Okay. All right, moving on to the soup, salad, dips, and sausage. This is great for like parties or functions going on. You can make some, bring it over to your friend's house, the party, wherever. If you have a favorite, maybe it needs a facelift, or maybe you have a salsa recipe that could use a little kick. Yeah, it's easy to add essential oils to soups, homemade salsa, sauces for pasta, done that, meats, dips like hummus or chip dip. Yeah. So here's a simple oregano bread dip. Now, depending on the batch here, if you're going to make I don't know, about 3 drops of oregano, I would do 1, or try the toothpick method. And if that's not strong enough, then, I would experiment with this one because oregano, I don't know about that one. But I mean, if not oregano, rosemary, thyme is also another good one you can have if you don't have oregano. Yeah, it's super yum. I've made this quite often, mostly with the rosemary, not with oregano, to be honest with you. All right, next salad, the strawberry almond salad. Now I've shared this on my Facebook group several times last year because it just looks so good. I've never made it, but this summer when the raspberries are in season, or this spring when they're in season, I'm definitely going to try this lime vinaigrette here. Whoo, that looks delicious. It looks healthy. It looks super yum. So go ahead, take a screenshot or jot down the recipe real quick. And again, you can always watch the replay later. And I'm on YouTube too. So next week, this will be uploaded on YouTube. So if you already liked and subscribed there, you'll get the notification and you can pause and get this recipe. Okay, you guys. All right, seasoning, whether you're making a traditional green salad, we already done that. Well, essential oils can be used for substitutes of dry seasoning ingredients. They also make a powerful addition to dry seasoning ingredients and dry rubs. You can add a drop of oil to dry seasoning ingredients to add a variety to your meal, extra flavor where you need it. Here is a simple recipe for Italian seasoning blend that uses essential oil and garlic to make seasoning combination that's perfect for Italian dishes. Go ahead and jot that down or take a screenshot. And then this I never thought of doing, essential oil flavored sugar. See, I even learned something. I've been at this for 5 years and I learned something new today. 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 to 3 drops of wild orange, tangerine, lemon, grapefruit, lime, or the toothpick, cassia, cinnamon. You put that on your oatmeal. What else? Coffee, tea, lemonade, toast. Even your baking. If you had, if the recipe called for sugar and zest, put it in the sugar. So smart. I'm going to do that next time, you guys. See, I even learned too. Okay. If you want even more recipes and more information that I didn't cover, you can always Google doTERRA ebook Cooking with Essential Oils, or go to doTERRA.com and you can search ebook Cooking with Essential Oils, download it, print it out, put it in your kitchen. It's right there. It's just an extra cookbook, right? All right. All right, so if you are not a member and you're like, I want to get cooking with essential oils, this is the perfect kit. One, it's like a little tiny kit, it's a little intro. You're going to get 85 drops in these 5 milliliter bottles. You dip your toe in it, you try it out. You're getting lavender, lemon, peppermint, oregano out the gate. On Guard is great for apple slices. You can make a quick little treat for you, your partner, or your kids with the On Guard. You get apple slices, a little water, a drop of the On Guard, store it in a glass container or stainless steel, and then they have a perfect treat whenever they're ready. Digestion, you're trying any recipe for the first time, instead of reaching for the Tums or the Mylanta, grab your Digestion. So you deal with the upset tummy, and you can take this internally as well. Deep Blue, you can't take internally. doTERRA Breathe, you can't, but you get some lung support with the Breathe. And Deep Blue, I don't know, are you lifting heavy pans and pots? That'll come in handy later. Pebble diffuser is really cute and small, so you can use these oils all 3 ways: smell, taste, and touch. It's below the wholesale cost, so it's deeper discounts when you get a bundle kit. So you're saving 25 bucks. Another option, the bigger bottles, 250 drops, 3 times the oil, but not 3 times the price. In this kit, you get the lemon, lavender, peppermint. Copaiba is great for stress, pain management. Deep Blue, pain management when you're exercising. Adaptive keeps you cool as a cucumber when you're stressing out in the kitchen. Balance going to keep you grounded. Breathe's going to give you that lung support. Digestion when you ate something funky. And the On Guard, you can make. You can also make gingerbread men with On Guard as well. So there's other recipes out there for On Guard. You get the petal diffuser. So again, you use the oils all 3 ways: smell, touch, and taste. And it's huge savings right here with the bigger bottles. You're saving $105. So it's below the 25% off that everybody gets as a member. So you're even getting cheaper oils. Like, how can you not get this deal? All right, questions. Oh, I should mention this kit qualifies for a free deep blue rub and an extra deep blue that you can give to a friend that you work out with. How about that? Okay, questions. Please reach out to the person that welcomed you into doTERRA world. If they're no longer in doTERRA world, you can reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you. Get with me when you enroll and get in, become a member of doTERRA and you get your kit. You're going to get a reference book that has other recipes and DIYs in there. You're going to get tools to get you started on using your oils. What else? You're going to get me 24/7. I'm a text message, a phone call, an email away. What else? Yeah, just ongoing support. And then of course you're going to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So like and subscribe there so you don't miss out on those. And there's tons of information on my YouTube channel, so you can always dive over there for helpful information. You guys, next week, we're going to be cleaning with essential oils. Woohoo! Yeah, we're going to be talking about a couple of essential oil blends and some singles that are perfect household cleaners. So you don't have to go out and spend more money on toxic chemicals when you just use the oils that you already have. Because of the chemical compound, things can't survive, they can't thrive, so they go somewhere else and they're not on your surfaces anymore. So please stay tuned for that. All new classes, you guys, going forward. These are all brand new. Okay, all right, any questions? You know how to find me. I'm right here. Leave them in the comments, or you can direct message me and I'll be happy to help you. Happy cooking. I hope you find the joy in cooking again. Love you guys. Be well. Happy Wellness Wednesday to you. See you next week. Bye.